In one of my classes recently, I brought up how a lot of people in my life who have supported black people are actually secretly racist. I made my professor and the entire class laugh when I called them in the closet racist. Then I thought to myself, I could use my trauma with racism and put it on YouTube for all the world to see. So that's what brings me here today. I'm here to talk about my experience with what I like to call in the closet racist. Now, first, we have to define what exactly an in the closet racist is. An in the closet racist is the type of person who will publicly support black people and equality for them, but they will still have the racial stereotypes that black people are dangerous, drug dealing thugs playing in the back of their heads. Let me give you an example. An in the closet racist is the type of person to tell all of their friends that they're so upset that black people are getting killed by police at an exponential rate and they want to be out there fighting for their equality. But as soon as they see their daughter come through their door with a black person, they are absolutely disgusted because they do not want their daughter to be associated with those people. This is just a small example, but it gets the point across. And now I will go into my own personal experiences with in the closet racist. I don't think it's any secret that I do not act like a stereotypical black person. I've never really cared to act a certain way, I just act the way that I want to be. But I would be stupid to not recognize that there are ignorant people out there that expect me to act like the black people that they see on TV. And for a long period of time, it really frustrated me and created a lot of sad times in my life. There have been many times where I didn't think that I acted quote unquote black enough, whatever the hell that means. I used to be so ashamed of the person that I was, but now that I've grown up and I've met better people and had better experiences, I don't really care anymore. People can say whatever they want to say. I didn't just get this from the people at school, I also got it from my family as well, which is what really hurts because when your own people say that you aren't black enough, that's where it really cuts deep. But it was going to school with a bunch of privileged white kids telling me this that really just kind of pissed me off. They'll support racial equality, but they also expect black people to act a certain way? You are knowingly or unknowingly expecting me to act a certain way just because of the color of my skin. If I had $1 for the amount of times that I've been called the whitest black man on earth or a walking Oreo, I could pay off all of my college textbooks. I honestly believe that the only thing that kept me going back then was just the small little bit of hope that I had that not everyone was like that and that things would get better. And thankfully they did. Also, side rant, the amount of times that I've been told that I am going to marry a white girl, oh my goodness dude, now that actually makes my blood boil. Just because I'm seen as an educated black man, I'm obligated to marry a white girl? What is that? What are the implications there? So I have to be what you think is dumb and an ignorant black person in order for me to date black women? What does that say about how you view black people? And little do they know, I've had more success with black girls than I've had with white girls, so kiss my ass. It doesn't affect me as much as it used to, but it does annoy me when people just make baseless assumptions that every educated black man is supposed to marry a white girl. I might fuck around and marry a Middle Eastern chick or something because I just want to throw everyone off. Now, I don't say this to shame all of the black people who haven't had access to going to college and are in different circumstances than me because I think that's very ignorant. I understand that a lot of people within our community that tend to act in a certain way that may fit these stereotypes that are placed upon us are results of the systematic oppression of the very rich and powerful who want to keep us down. When I go on social media and I see people saying oh what, because I don't sling drugs and drink lean until I die, I'm not black enough? Bro, if the colors were switched and you said the same thing, you'd sound stupid. You're acting as if your decision to go to college and not participate in some of the dangerous activities that keep our people down makes you better than those who do. You're not better, and you're not worse for it. You're just different, and that's okay. We need to stop sectioning ourselves off these types of black people and these types of black people because the politicians are already doing that anyway. We need to stick together. My professor said something great in class that I wanted to highlight. She said that the rich have taught us to always look down instead of up. That we are taught to blame people that we see as lower than us for our societal problems instead of blaming the ones who make the laws that oppress us. It's a lot easier to blame the black person who unfortunately has parents who have to sell drugs because they can't get a job because they got possession of marijuana charges than it is to realize that the people who are making the laws, the ones that put them in jail, are actually the ones to blame. So the next time you think that you're a quote unquote better black person because you don't sell drugs and you went to college and you were a good old boy, remember that you don't know what you would do if you lived in poverty and had a way to make easy money. Remember that it is up to you to use your education to push our people forward instead of pushing us back. I'm looking at you, Clarence fucking Thomas. God, I hate that guy. Lastly, I want to talk about the fetishizing of black men. Now, before I say anything, I can't argue that the fetishizing does inherently give me an advantage in dating. I hate saying that. But I also hate being reduced to a sex object. Like, I'm not just some dude that's only usable to make a black.com scene in your bedroom. And to all the guys out there gritting their teeth about me complaining about women wanting me specifically for my skin color, get over yourself. Just because someone presents you with the opportunity to fuck them does not mean that you should. Have some standards, have some discipline before you mess around and get caught up with a girl that you don't want to be caught up with. I've literally had a girl who said she supports Black Lives Matter and she loves black guys and she wants them to stop getting killed by police and all of these great things that we love to hear. But then, that same girl said, I can't be seen with a black guy in public. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand preferences, but to be sexually attracted to a race, but not want to be seen with them because of the social implications of being seen with them? You have to be an in-the-closet racist. You can't talk all of this talk, but not support black men when it is difficult and hard. Pun intended. Now, I think for the biggest question of this, do I prefer in-the-closet racist, or do I prefer upfront racist? Now, I know this is going to shock a lot of people, but I actually prefer an in-the-closet racist. Now, before you all get your pitchforks and torches, let me explain my point. I say this because even though I do prefer people to be honest with me, I see more benefits from interacting with someone who's an in-the-closet racist. First off, they are more than likely to vote for legislation that actually helps black people instead of ones that further oppress us. 2, I can at least be around an in-the-closet racist and not fear that I'm going to be shot or anything along those lines. And 3, which is what I think is the most important, is that I don't really think that this is a personality problem. I think this is an educational problem. Most of these people who I talk to and who I hear this ignorant stuff come from, they just haven't really been around a lot of black people to understand that not all of us are the spitting image of Doughboy from Boys in the Hood. I feel like it's situations like this where it's important to have conversations and be open so they can learn that even though people are responsible for the personal choices that they make in their life, you also have to take in the societal factors that put them in those rough circumstances that force them to make those decisions. So yeah, that's all I really got to say, and just remember to have actual conversations with people instead of getting all of your arguments from a TikTok.